That many of us who push the things of Christ, as much as you are seeing it, you are only seeing it because you are tenaciously seeing it. We have been shadow banned. At least Instagram removes over 100,000 followers from me every month. Oh, yes. You're just going to keep and determine how far it will go. So when we say to believers that, you see, you can't sit down and fold your arms, God wants you to get involved with certain things for the sake of the gospel. For the sake of the gospel. That they are still in level 1. And what's the level 1? Once they begin to influence and impact and all that, find a way to slow them down. And what's level 2? Level 2 is to completely get them off the platforms. And that's where we're going. Going to completely delete Christian content in no time. We won't be able to do all these things on YouTube and Facebook. Because once you are talking about all this, they delete your platform. We have opened several Instagram platforms for Ambience TV. And each time we do, they pull it down. Each time we do, they pull it down. Each time we do, they pull it down. Systems. Many of you don't even know what's going on. If some of us are not tenacious, not one human will even see what we're doing. You've got to have an entire system behind the scene just to make sure that these things can get to the rightful ears. If you put a Christian content side by side with a comedy content, the algorithm is different. Who determines that? So when I began to give words like believers need to wake up, and you must understand that part of the strategies for fighting end-time battle is to build your own platforms. You can't win them on their own ground. One of the things that has weakened the church, not just in Nigeria, around the world, is division. Oh yeah, we have unity of the faith. We are not supposed to be united in doctrine, but the faith brings us together. And at least at that level, there are certain things we can do for the faith. This one believes that God wants believers to take on mountains of influence. Of influence. We're not saying it's a doctrine, but it's a reality. Oh, someone said, no. We preach Christ and Him crucified. Nothing more. If you talk about Christian marriages, you've off doctrine. And then there are many people who are seated there going through divorce. There are many who are seated there who have married abusers. There are many who are seated there who have married male partners they discovered was sleeping with males. And we cover many things up because everyone wants to push their own agenda. I want to believe there is no Christian still seated and is waiting for Grammy to validate him, or waiting for certain award platforms like AMVCA. These are powers behind the scene. The world is not literal. Sometimes when we tell people around election time that let people pray, we should pray, then you hear people out of anger say things like, INEC doesn't count prayer points. They count vote. Really? How well has it counted? If there's anything that has the capacity to destroy this nation, I'm fully aware that it is the offense and the bitterness of the people themselves. Because once you are bitter, you are less strategic. You have no strategy. If there are believers who still think that the world is as simple as you see it, you better wake up now. And when you hear the stories of people like Didi and those who have managed to escape from their camp, some died trying. They control who stay alive and who dies. They control whose dispensation it is when it comes to music and when it comes to all that. Serious empire. I just want to stay in the American world. It's safe. Let's just, I don't want to get into anything here just yet. And you have young people who are jostling to be famous, and they get into serious trouble. I was speaking with a man yesterday, and I'm just going to put this in quotes. And he was talking about the season in his life where he was broke. And someone called him and said, we want to join so and so club. It's a popular club, Illuminati. They want to join them. He said, all you have to do is to get your phone to record yourself and hail Satan and do all those things. And once you do, they send it to them. Once they accept you, first for accepting you, $10,000. What then is selling of the soul? What then is selling of the soul? Believers are naive. They are not aware. They don't know what's going on. So yesterday I saw something online about the lyrics of a song. And I was like, no, this can't be. Those who listen to it ought to be smart enough to hear. And I went online and I listened to it to hear the lyrics. And I said, my God, plain out tightly. Look at the things they've squeezed in between sound beats. And they start dancing to it and not know why their soul is conditioned to think in a certain way, or why they become vulnerable to certain practices. They've muffled it up in lyrics. As they sing it, their soul is colonized, is made vulnerable. Get out from darkness. I wish we will wake up. I wish the church in Nigeria will wake up. I wish young people will wake up. I hope you will wake up and see for yourself. I wish you will wake up. In the book of Isaiah chapter number 60 says, arise, shine, for your light is come. For behold, darkness will cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. Oh my. Gross darkness, serious level of darkness. The people. Say, but the light of the Lord will arise upon you, and his glory will be seen upon you. It's time, let me say this to you. It's time to pursue God deeper. It's time, because we are in the days of offenses, where you will steal and hear things that will offend your soul, and you will not even know where to start from. Don't anchor your faith on men, anchor it on Christ, because you're about to see things that will offend your soul. Get up on your feet, everyone. First, you are going to pray that, Lord, you will shield me from the corruption of darkness that is in this world. You will shield my soul from the corruption of darkness that is in this world. You will shield my heart and mind. Help me. And if you know that you are neck deep in things you can't explain, in practices, ask God for deliverance this morning. That you will rescue me, and don't pray with pretense. Don't pray with pretense. Oh, don't pray with pretense.